Hey, love this shirt. Where's Old Head?
Old Head's actually, it's in Ireland. It's in County Cork, and I had a chance to play there last year. It's fantastic. It's this great seaside course. Got a lighthouse in the middle of it. It's just spectacular.
Oh, sounds really
It's
nice.
fantastic. Hey, thanks for getting together. Hey, I got this question, and I got a client who's really kind of struggling to figure out whether they should use Perpetual or a SaaS-based model. And
Okay.
I'm talking him through, and I know we've chatted about it before, but I really want to get more in depth about it, and hopefully you can shed some light on it.
Well, challenging decision, right? Pros
Yep.
and cons to both of them. Let's draw this out a little bit. So the first part goes back a little bit, Brian, that one we've talked about before. It's that CapEx
Yep. Yeah, versus OpEx.
versus OpEx, right?
Right.
Really that important decision of, do I want to look at this as an upfront capital expenditure?
Or do I want to put it in my monthly reoccurring?
Monthly reoccurring.
And that really is a big
operating
part
expenses.
of it, right?
It's
a big one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So another thing that comes into play on that,
Yep.
sometimes it's just this consideration over, is this kind of a long-term investment,
Right.
or are we maybe unsure and it's perhaps a short-term investment? And the reason I say that is sometimes, when we're in this software as a service licensing model,
Yep.
it works really well in the short term, but there's services bundled into that, and as we extend that out over the longer term,
Yep.
kind of that break-even point gap tends to narrow.
So
and
the total
buying
cost of ownership gets less over
that's
time.
the point.
But at the same time, we can kind of use the software as we need it. We're not paying all that expense, right?
That's right.
Okay, that's interesting. So there's some trade-offs there.
Exactly. Now, I mean, again, because we're buying this as a service,
Yep.
service implies it scales with our business.
Right.
So one of the challenges with buying on a perpetual license is we often need to put more forethought into what do we want to buy, because sometimes we're expending that capital expenditure.
Right, and total number of users.
We may
and
need
how
to
many
finance
people.
that.
Right,
we need to
right.
find other ways to
So
fund that.
it's a bigger decision.
It is it's a bigger decision sometimes with the capital expenditure.
Exactly.
Software as a service model allows that to really just scale. And that's the key word I'd use, that scalability, right?
And so it scales up and down, right? So if we get into a peak situation,
Great point.
it can go up to kind of meet demand, and then as our business scales back, because maybe we're out of our peak, we can reduce the number of users, because this is typically a user count
Exactly.
that we're paying for on a monthly basis. And so our expense of really using the software goes up and down with our business expense.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
And then, the last thing I like to talk about, honestly, is it's software as a service.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, so, what we really, I draw it this way, right, which is often with software as a service or SaaS, there's bundled services.
Correct.
Many times organizations are going to consider Perpetual
Right.
when they're perhaps in a better situation better situation to kind of maybe self-serve and
Got it.
perform some of those services themselves.
And so services that might be bundled in might be things like data management, could even be backup, it could
Upgrades.
be upgrades,
So
right.
version control, right, all
Right.
those types of things.
So it does reduce some of that headache of maintaining the system.
Big advantage of software as a service.
Yeah.
It's kind of, we're just rolling as that product moves forward, we're rolling with it.
Yep.
Perpetual license tends to give us more control over when we manage those upgrades.
And also something that happens in that self-service model and the software as a service, it comes on the computing hardware that runs the software, and we get it all together. We don't have to buy any hardware.
Exactly.
And that's a big deal.
It's bundled, right?
Well, that's fantastic.
So kind of just let's recap those
Yep.
pretty quickly. Capital expenditure
Yep.
versus
The OpEx.
operating expense.
Yep.
Right. What's our decision time frame? Long-term horizon,
Or are we in a short window?
short window.
Got it.
And do we feel that we need the scalability?
Burst
Will
up
we
and
have
down,
fluctuations
right.
bursting up or bursting down?
Got it.
And then are we in a position to be able to self-serve?
Right.
Or
Do we just
or
want
do
it
we
as
need
a,
do we
that
need to
service
bundle
part?
those?
Do we really just want it as a service?
Yeah. So I think that, those 4 points,
Those are really the big deals. Yeah.
big difference between SaaS and Perpetual. And,
Right.
and both options, I think, just need consideration because they're viable options for most organizations.
Yeah, and we can really look at total cost of ownership and kind of understand it across the lifetime of use.
Exactly.
Okay,
Does that help?
fantastic. That's fantastic. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, good.
Okay, great. Sounds good.
Oh, shot of espresso, just what I needed.
Yeah, it's got a big time. We need to pick me up, that's for sure.